Yes, hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast, the only podcast that is happy to get up at 3 a.m. on a Monday. Make sure you like and subscribe and get around us. We'll be live most Mondays on the socials, either me or Danny, usually. Speaking of, at Danny Webb, are you happy to get up at 3 a.m?
Always happy to get up at 3 a.m, especially when football's on. My ability to reply on socials at that time is probably like at its peak. It's probably where I'm going to be the funniest, just like running on pure adrenaline, football adrenaline.
We're not far off being at work when that's on as well, so that'll be
We're already up anyway.
Time. And at Charlie Pick, will you be up replying to us at that time?
I will absolutely be up replying to you. I'm pretty sure the Bills are in that early window, so that's me taken care of for Monday. And just before we get into it, just want to say how much I'm enjoying the season with you guys. It's been great in the new digs. Great to remember to say like and subscribe.
Yeah,
we need that. We need that support because the good thing is like the downloads are going up and more people are listening. Share it with your friends. If you are into football the way that we are and you like talking about it and you like hearing conversations about it, share it with your friends.
Not
like,
even your
subscribe.
Friends, your mailman, your barista.
Convert people.
Whoever.
The milkman.
Yeah.
Have the conversations we have where you explain to people why football's amazing. And we did it all through the off-season. Let's build not just this podcast. Let's build football in Australia. And why get behind this podcast? Because at least 1/3 of this show knows football. All right, absolutely knows football. Can look at a matchup and know exactly who is going to come and represent and who is going to buckle under pressure. Detroit Lions over the Ravens. Someone knows ball, guys.
Is that because two of us picked
But you're saying that. Are you number one in our tipping comp?
I'm not sure I've been present in the tipping comp. I prefer just to levitate above the competition. And
I could tell you exactly.
Yeah, probably not. I think I've been forgetting to tip, so I probably had away all the whole time. I'm just not good at that.
That's a great reminder. My old man is number one.
Yeah.
And he keeps sending me messages every week. He's like, last week, I think he got 12 or something. I got about 10. He's like, if you need someone to come on who knows something, let me know. It's like, thanks.
That's
so
good.
Appreciate it, mate. And I think second is a 12-year-old. So we're going well.
Yeah. No, none of us being in the top threes. Not a great look for the
It's a good sign. But it is worth saying that Ravens Lions game, I thought the score in the end was quite forgiving to the Ravens. They could not stop the run. And everyone, whenever the Ravens are playing...
220 yards.
Yeah. And Montgomery had the longest touchdown, I think one of the longest run on the Ravens in a matter of 5 years or something like that. And when everyone talks about how do you stop Derrick Henry and the Ravens run game, well, the Lions did. The Lions stopped Derrick Henry and the Ravens couldn't stop their run. They absolutely were the stronger, tougher team. Jared Goff played a great game. He, on fourth down with the game on the line, made a pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown, which was the kind of pass you expect a team to make when they're on a run heading into the playoffs and everything's clicking. And I think it's great for Dan Campbell. A lot of questions over the Lions this year with new coordinators. And one thing you could see in that game is he's replaced two of the best coordinators in the league with two of the best coordinators in the league. They schemed up a great job on the Ravens. And we're going to get to it later in the show. But nice, big, juicy questions about the Ravens that were a lot of people's favourite to win the Super Bowl this year and are now... They're sketchy, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And it annoys me to say that I think the Lions have figured out their shit after week one.
Yeah, and one of the biggest questions was going to be that offensive line, but Goff seemed pretty comfortable. And if they're doing so much on the rushing game, the Ravens are actually ranked 32 in rush defense at the moment.
Out of how many?
Out of 32.
But they are considered better than a lot of Canadian Football League teams, so that's good, yeah.
Got some college teams coming.
Yeah.
That's about it. All right, let's get into this week's games. Another massive week. Like, there's some real juicy games in there. Just going through and picking the ones that I want to talk about. Packers, obviously, aside. There's some great just stories this week, and we're going to touch on a few of the stories. But the 3-0 Eagles at the 3-0 Bucks. This could be game of the week.
Massive game. So the Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield have managed to win every single game so far this season on a final drive. In like the final play, ending either with a field goal or a touchdown, but like that's how they've managed to get it done. And then the Eagles, on the flip side, have played pretty average football until the second half of the last week's game, where they went back to playing their championship style of football, where they let Jalen Hurts air it out and then created more space, allowing Saquon Barkley to attack the gaps. If the Eagles go and start playing that second half football, like Eagles football, and go up against this Bucs team, this game is going to be absolute fireworks.
I think it's a shootout. I don't know how the Bucs defense will hold up against the Birds if they can sort their shit out again and come out and play that Birds football. And Baker will throw it around. We know Baker's going to throw it around, so I think this is high scoring.
Yeah, I think it has that potential. I think we don't know what the Bucs defense is going to be like with the Eagles. I think that's actually a big question. We don't know which offense is going to show up from the Eagles. Like, yeah, they figured out how to pass the ball in the second half, but was that just by necessity? Was that just, I'm not confident necessarily in the Eagles passing game yet in the season after one decent half. I think the big question about this game, and it's for you, Danny, is like your favourite thing in football this season is Baker Mayfield winning on the final drive of the game. And how much do you want to see that again? It's your favourite thing in football. And are you going to be okay when he snatches the game from the Eagles? Will you be celebrating going, at least I got to see my little baby boy, my little man.
You're my boy, Blue.
Baker Mayfield, you're my boy.
Yes, I'll be very, very happy if Baker Mayfield doesn't do that to the Birds. But with the way that they're playing, he's going to have every opportunity probably to. So we're like, the best thing for the Eagles is not giving the ball in the final quarter. Just do a full final quarter. Just don't let him touch the ball because he's dangerous. I think Mike Evans was out. He pulled up sore with a hammy last week, so that's another offensive weapon that Baker won't have to throw to. But yeah, the Eagles' defense as well in that Rams game started off pretty poor. They adjusted really well, but they got 26 points put up on them. Like, it wasn't great. So as long as they come out and have a better start, both the offense and the defense have a better start. Really, otherwise, like, you're going into Tampa Bay, like, you're playing away.
Baker's a downhill skier. If he gets up,
he keeps on going. He'll just keep on piling on points, and that is a real concern. I don't want to be winning off a blocked field goal. Like, that is not good enough football.
That is not a plan.
No.
let's block 2.
Yeah, let's block 2 and let's take one back for 6. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, it was great that it did, and Davis managed to get that. Incredible, and I love watching the big man run. Like, that's always good. But that should not be the game plan going into this.
3.5-point favourites, even though it's in Raymond James.
Yeah, I guess, like, I don't know. I don't know how they pick these lines. Like, I'd love to say it was like, yeah, well, we've won 3 games, we'll solve the Bucs.
I reckon I'm not a gambling man, obviously. If I was to think they've won 3 with a field goal each time, that's kind of where they'd be sitting most times, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and
just add that little bit more to be like, I
guess you look at the teams that they did it against. Like, it was against the Falcons and the Jets.
This is definitely the best defense they've come up against.
Yeah, it was against the Falcons and the Jets and stuff. I'd like to think that the Eagles' defense stands pretty far above that, as long as Jalen Carter stays on the field.
We don't have to ask you. Winner? It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game, Eagles, but it's tight. And there's... I still don't think we've seen consistency from the Eagles yet. And so there's every chance that there's a half where you're going, what happened to last year's Super Bowl winners? But I do think, I think the Eagles.
Can you win it on a half of football?
Just on that, there's a little bit more motivation for Jalen Hurts coming into this game. So he's won something like 14 games straight now, and his previous loss was to Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Juicy.
And then before that, like, it was on a mad win streak again. Like, it is his one downfall game where he's actually lost in most recent games in the past like 20 or so games.
Yeah, because I think he's games that he's finished, he's like 19-0 at the moment. So
and the one that he went down to was Tampa Bay.
I like it. So obviously the Eagles are winning, but is 3.5 enough?
I would much prefer the line to be 3 or 2.5. Like, I think the game's going to be tight. It probably will finish on the final drive. I just hope the Eagles have the ball in their hand in that final drive.
I actually like the Bucs. I think Baker loves these kind of moments where going in underdogs in your own stadium is more motivation than, especially for him. I feel like, the Eagles putting the flag down in the middle on the, what are they? Bloody pirate.
The Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
I was going to say the Browns, but he's not the Browns. Yeah, I don't know. I like Baker in these kind of games. And losing if Evans doesn't get up, if Godwin's still not back, I think it's a very Baker Mayfield pick it up and carry him kind of game.
Yeah, and they'll probably lean back on their running back as well. I think he struggled last week. Bucky Irving. He struggled a little bit last.
Great name.
Yeah.
Love the Bucky Irving as a name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
And I think he's like he does particularly well in people's fantasy because they go, oh yeah, it's a cool name. That like if you're deciding.
Up and about. I love the next game we can talk about because we're talking about the next game. You told us 4 weeks ago that in round 3 we're going to be talking about the Colts and the Rams. I would have been calling you an idiot, but this is great. 3-0 Colts at the 2-1 Rams. The Rams are favoured by, again, that 3.5 point line. They love that 3.5 point line. Indiana Jones, is he going to come out and what's he going to do?
Yeah, well, that's the question now is how long can he do it? How consistent can he be? He's strung together a great season at the Giants and got them to the playoffs. Like he's had a good season before. He's in a much better place now, and he's playing better football than he was at any stage with the Giants. And the pressure isn't on him all the time because he's got Taylor running for so many yards. The standout running back in the league. I think better at this stage he is the best running back in the league. So I think the Colts are good enough to get this done. The Rams have a great defense, though. Like the Rams are a very complete and balanced team, and also they're doing some things on offense that are very hard to stop. We've said it before: Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Like you can take out one, you can't take out both. It's not possible to do. I think once again, this is a super close game, and Indiana Jones has given us no reason to doubt what he's doing.
We've proven on this show we love gunslingers, and you were able to throw the ball on him last week. So Pittman could have a big game if Danny Dimes is going to throw it around.
We could throw the ball on him, but you got to remember Jalen Hurts got sacked 4 times. Jared Verse was an absolute beast on that defensive line and like getting to him. Like it's, we could only throw the ball on him on the second half as well. Like the Rams do have a strong defense, and it's just if Indiana Jones continues this way, where he hasn't thrown a pick all season.
They punted once.
And they've punted once.
So
like
good.
that is a strong offense, and
I
I feel like
we're talking
I feel
about
like we need to talk about it more.
I
Like
love it.
the
This is
Colts
so
are
good.
playing incredible football, especially offensively. Like, and Tyler Warren came out and he had like 70+ yards in his first 2 games. Had a quiet one last week. Didn't matter, they won anyway. But like you've got multiple offensive weapons, and it's almost like a team that's doing. The Colts are doing it by committee. They're almost like a Bills-esque, I guess, where like everyone has a little bit of the ball, and Danny Dimes is just throwing incredible passes. Just hopefully it's one of the good Indiana Jones movies and not the bad ones.
The one thing that approach does of having multiple
Which one's a bad one?
Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull was no good.
Okay, cool.
Crystal Skull, but also
It's like the Temple of Doom,
yeah,
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Great.
but also Crystal Skull is a Tua Tagovailoa movie. He's got a crystal skull. But I think one thing that multiple targets, like having lots of targets to throw to, one thing it does is it means that he's not under pressure to get to someone. It means that he can actually, if he's a good quarterback and he's showing that he actually has processing skills and can get to a second and third read on plays, it means he can choose the best option and not throw to double coverage, not throw it into tight windows, which is where he always got into trouble throwing interceptions before. And so, once again, I've said it, the scheme fit for him is just right because that is a scheme that they built to work. They just need the right quarterback there to do it. And it's this thing, it's a Volvo, it drives itself.
And there's been a couple of times where like the coverage has been really good on the Colts and they've covered all their weapons. And Danny Dimes has just ran on his feet. Like I haven't seen
He loves a run. He used to love running.
Yeah, but like he's doing it at smart and like opportune moments where he's getting 15, 20 yards. He's not just doing it to get a first down. Like he's using the big brain of his that he's got, and he's getting it done.
And it just shows like the O-line that he's got there is elite. Like coming from New York where he was getting sacked left, right and centre. We say about having an elite running back. I'm pretty sure he had Saquon at one point. So
Yes,
he's had an elite running back, but I think that's where the O-line really comes to shine. And Colts this year's O-line is huge. So yeah, we can say who's It was 3.5 to the Rams at home. Makes sense. I get that 3.5's annoying.
I think the Rams are going to
Deliberately.
I think the Rams are going to come out like obviously losing to the Eagles in the dramatic fashion that they did. I think the Rams are going to come out like with another point to prove to be like we are a 3-1 team. Like we shouldn't be 2-1 at this point. So I think I'm going with the Rams because it's at home, and I do rate Jared Verse and the Rams defense. I think Danny Dimes is going to find a little bit more pressure than he has in previous weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams will get there. I think 3.5 is about right. But that doesn't change the fact that I banged the drum for the Colts. And if the Colts are 3-1 and they lose narrowly to the Rams, you're still very happy for the Colts so far this season. You know, I think the story of them is going on. They'll be there at the end of the year. But yeah, I think the Rams get there.
Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, two of the more elite, probably 1 and 2 at the moment as far as wide receivers, I think. Like, they've both had really big games.
Best 1-2 combo in football.
And Kyron Williams, like let's not doubt him as well. He put on uncountable amount of yards on. Well, someone was probably counting it on the Eagles.
There is a cannibal
amount. That guy, but like he dominated that defense on the ground. So yeah, don't forget him.
Nah, but I'm going the Colts.
Ooh, I like it. Spicy. Let's go.
Throw it around.
Crystal Skull, here we come.
Yeah. Hope not. We want the other one.
Temple of Doom.
That's the one.
You need to do some Indiana Jones research.
I do. I've watched him, but I'm just terrible. Nah, I like the Colts. I reckon they're just keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. Yeah. This last game, again, I love. We were probably start of the year. You say this game, you talk about this game, but the reason we're talking about this game is huge. The 1 and 2 Ravens versus the 1 and 2 Chiefs. One of these teams is going to be 1 and 3. I don't want to say it's impossible, but that's a long way back to make playoffs.
Also, how was this game? Like, how did the schedulers figure out that this game wasn't the Sunday night football game? They put
it's a 6:25.
But they put the Packers Cowboys before the trade had even happened. Like how like.
Because we're two big time fucking teams, mate. That's why.
But that's the thing. This was scheduled. Let's be honest. This was scheduled as a potential AFC Championship preview. That's what that was the story that we were meant to get out of this game. And as it is, got
to have some good games in the daytime.
That's right.
Can't have all the shit games in the daytime.
But it's like it is so good for the. It's great for the AFC.
This is the storylines that I'm talking about. Like, this is huge.
And playing now for we've said it before, only one team in history has come back from 0-3 and made the playoffs. 1-3 is not a hell of a lot better. You know, like that's an 0-3 team that just managed to win a game, right? And these two teams, there are massive questions over these two teams. And I want to start with the Ravens. And one of the big questions I think that has to be out there for a 2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson does not do well in big games. And it's hard to get it out of your head that the Ravens aren't a flat track bully lead, you know, like they're great when they're in front.
Downhill scares.
And that's it. And you can also see in Lamar's play that the big games, he mentally is less balanced. He gets too worked up. He attempts throws he shouldn't make. He tries to do it himself. We've seen quarterbacks do it over the years. The true champions, the ones that make it to the Hall of Fame and win the Super Bowls, are the ones that know how to not try to do it all themselves in those big games and think they have to do it on every single play. And I don't think that Lamar has shown that he can do that. Like, twice against the Bills, mental errors. You have a look last week against the Lions. On the sideline, he was not focused and calm. You could see that the moment was getting to him. And yeah, everyone talks too much about this stuff. He was this close to being MVP last year as well. But we're yet to see him do it in the big games against the Chiefs, against the Bills. You know, the teams that he has to conquer if he is going to climb the mountain. And yet to see it. So I think that is the big, that is one of the big questions coming into this game.
What about old Derek Fumbles Henry?
3 fumbles in 3 weeks.
I think he had 3 in 3 years.
It's insane. Like, and there's got to be more that's going on with the Ravens behind the scenes that we're not seeing. But you were completely right. Lamar does just seem to crumble under pressure, and that's why they've never had a deep playoff run, and we've seen that time and time again. But if we wind it back to last year when the Ravens played the Chiefs, was it in Arrowhead where the Mark Andrews touchdown pass was ruled incomplete because his toe was just ever so slightly outfield?
It was likely. Isaiah Likely. Week 1.
Oh, week 1, yeah. So really, really interesting. And then every time Lamar does go to Arrowhead, he's never won in his career. And this game is at home for the Chiefs. But then you look at the Chiefs side of it, and God, have they been struggling? Like,
no, the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, no,
between the two of them.
Yeah, no offensive weapons. Like, it's incredible. We're at this point in the season, we're talking about these two teams, and like whichever one probably loses, you're almost ruling out of the playoff picture. And it's two teams that you'd expect to be almost, at least in the top 3.
I think Worthy's a chance. I haven't looked at the IR at the moment, but I think he's a chance of coming back, which would be big. We found
Tyquan Thornton
last week, and him and Worthy together. That all of a sudden he's got 2 deep threats, which
that's right, and it's a shoulder injury. He's not coming back from soft tissue, high ankle, hammy. He'll be fast.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is also they have a number of schemed up plays for him to run. So that is good news for the Chiefs. But you've still got Travis Kelce blowing off steam at Big Red on the sideline. You've actually, if you watch closely, you've got Mahomes angry at Kelce for breaking the wrong way on routes. And we haven't seen that really
missing
before.
throws as well.
Yeah,
and he's dropped a couple of sitters, a couple of bounce off his chest and his hands as well. Like, this is the Kelce that we were talking about at the start of the season, who said that, like, I spent too much time in Hollywood last year, did this, did that, too much Swift stuff. And then he was talking that he was going to come back this year and be that elite Kelce that we saw in years previous. And we just haven't seen that yet this season.
Do you know what doesn't win Super Bowls? Excuses. That's right. You heard me, Travis Kelce.
Just calling
making excuses. We've all got podcasts, mate. But that's the thing. You've seen some of his drops, and he's been throwing his hands up like, oh, it's not like there's some reason he dropped it. You're not taking the catches, mate, and you're not running the routes you used to run. He used to be, and I've been calling him washed for a season and a half now, I believe. But
that is your favourite word.
Yeah, I like to call someone washed, and that's just because I work in an industry where it's not relying on my body breaking down. But he used to be so hard to stop, and he used to be the outlet for Mahomes because he would run routes of his own creation. He would improvise really well, and he doesn't even seem to have that in his kit at the moment. Like, he's not getting to where he's meant to be. He's not getting to where he's meant to be a better target. And when he's in the right spot, he's dropping it. So, yes, there's 2 fast targets now for Mahomes. I think the big worry watching the Chiefs and why I would be concerned about this is if you are watching this game and Mahomes is using his feet a lot, which he's been using his feet a lot this season. When in doubt, he's been getting the first...
Not last week. Except for last week, and that hurt a few punches' pockets. I'm not going to name names, but it was definitely me.
Okay, well, I don't look at everything through a gambling prism the way that you guys do. But you have a look at he's needed to do that a lot.
We didn't need to do that last week, did we?
No.
But this is arguably the biggest test that the Chiefs have had. Like the week 1 is sort of everyone figuring themselves out, but the stink has been on them since then. And this is a proper team they're coming up against. Like, it's a team with problems, but it's a proper team that I think has the potential to be a real problem for them on defense.
Yeah, they've got the weapons. That's the thing. The Ravens have the weapons. We should be talking about this with the way the Chiefs have been playing, as the Ravens are going to come in and storm them at home. But I don't have faith in this Ravens team. They're not firing on all cylinders. Like you're saying, Derrick Henry's dropping the ball. Zay Flowers is doing incredible. Mark Andrews, we said, was a glorified left tackle, then caught 2 touchdown passes last week. It's just all over the shop for the Ravens. There's not like a clear-cut picture. But then you've got this basket case Chiefs team, which we haven't seen in years.
3 points underdogs at home, the Chiefs.
The Ravens let me down last week, so I'm just going to jump on the Chiefs this week, but I'm not confident in either team. Can I pick both teams to lose?
I just want everyone to have a good time.
I think the Ravens do win it. I think they've, as much as there are big questions about the Ravens and they've made their season hard for themselves by the way they've started, I do think they've shown better football than the Chiefs had this year, and it's as simple as that. I think they get there.
I'm going to lean into what you said, and you kind of touched on as well, the pressure. And the pressure at Arrowhead can be amplified. So I'm going to lean into that they're going to be, mate, get into him. Get into him every chance you get. The Chiefs faithful will be up and about. So Lamar under pressure.
They'll be chopping.
Yep.
They'll be chopping.
The Chiefs get the job
Chiefs
done.
Kingdom, I believe, is the
Correct.
correct
I
term.
can see it ticking over in your head.
Yeah,
But
Chiefs
the Chiefs
Kingdom.
Kingdom, they'll be into him. You know, it'll be loud there too. The decibels get up. So I reckon under
And particularly for the Chiefs, they, as a fan base, they haven't felt like their team needs them quite as much as this for a number of years. You know, they are going to be loud as hell. Henry Winkler and Paul Rudd will be out making a hell of a lot of noise for the Kansas City Chiefs this week.
The only thing that annoys me about this is it's now 2-1 again.
Yeah, and that doesn't bode well for us.
It doesn't bode well for us. The only one who knows football is picked on the Ravens. So.
I'd love it if that turns out to be the story of the season. It's like Colts are better than we thought and Pickering knows ball. I like it. That's the season.
I did mention at the top that there's so many storylines. So we've gone through and picked a few games this week just to keep your eyes across because there's storylines aplenty. Charles, start us off, mate.
Seahawks, Cardinals. This is a really interesting game because that NFC West is super competitive. Yes, the 49ers are out to 3-0, but Bosa just went out with an ACL. And which injured quarterback is going to be throwing the ball? Will it be injured Brock Purdy or injured Mac Jones throwing the ball? So, and on the other side of the equation, the Cardinals, they need to win this. To not be an irrelevant team in that NFC West and to stay in the hunt, they need to win it. And this division, if they do, opens up again. It really opens up. At the same time, Seahawks have shown that they can score a whole lot of points. Is that who they are now, that they can just outscore people? We're going to see that. But it feels make or break for the Cardinals.
And this is the Thursday night game, so Friday for us. Start off with. Danny, what's the...
Yeah, so another good one is the Vikings versus Steelers. This one's actually being played in Dublin, so anything can kind of happen with these international games. No one really has home court advantage.
It's mainly for tax purposes. I want to say that they've got a low rate of tax. That's why.
But this is a Carson Wentz-led Vikings team, so it's come out that Kevin O'Connell has actually said that he can't confirm even when JJ McCarthy comes back. I think he's looking at maybe 2 more weeks before he comes back from injury. Hasn't confirmed whether he'll go back to being the starter just because of how well Carson Wentz played, which is like huge and such an interesting storyline. But then you're also on the other side of the ball, you got Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. They'll just come in. He doesn't care where he plays. He's played.
This is only his second time travelling though. Rodgers,
yeah.
Oh,
So
actually, no. Jets went over. He only went over once with the Packers, so third time. Like it's still
new. I reckon, I've got a feeling-
Physically, he has travelled everywhere in his mind.
the ayahuasca
as part of his off-season program.
places that you wouldn't even believe.
Yeah.
But I think that's a factor. The fact, like I said, overseas, there's no home court advantage. So it's an interesting one. I think it's middle of the night for us, that one. So if you're happy to stay up, it's like 11:30 start.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Then you just got to stay up for the 3 o'clock game as well.
Yeah, just have a quick nap. You might get half an hour.
You're right. Sunday night football. Packers back at the Cowboys. Last time we played them there was playoffs. Gave them their first playoff loss there. I think we've won more playoff games there than they have, which is huge. And the return of Kenny Clark against us and Micah against the Cowboys. So it's a jam-packed game and we have to win it.
Yeah, and
after last week.
And you know that Mike is going to be going out there and doing everything possible to sack Dak. It's going to be an incredible watch. He's going to be so hungry for it.
It's a good game. You said Sunday night football shit, but this is a fucking great Sunday night football.
No, it's perfect. I'm just saying that I just don't get how the scheduling that was done bloody almost a year ago picked this game without knowing the trade.
It's scripted. They know.
So scripted.
I suspect the Packers are going to destroy the Cowboys. It's going to be big. And I think CD Lamb being out
is huge.
And Pickens is an outstanding number 2. Can he be a number 1 when there isn't a split focus to the other side? And the fact is the Packers have a defense that is working and can absolutely, if they take Pickens out of the picture, I think it's going to be a long night for Dak.
Ferguson's their other one. But yeah, our defense, even though we lost and gave up 13 in the last 3 minutes, when the pick gets you down to about 50 yards, they're playing with a short field as it is, and then the block field goal, a short field. So our defense played a great game. It was 5 minutes of fucking Blaine exploding, which was fun. Next game.
Next game, Chargers Giants. It's interesting for a bunch of reasons. Number one, we get to watch the Chargers play, and they're a great team to watch this season. Herbert is playing the kind of football that we've wanted Herbert to play for a long time, and it's a balanced offense, and he can enjoy it. Their defense is fun to watch. Obviously, Najee Harris out, so the run game is going to be a bit
he's
more.
Done for the year.
He's done for the year. So that's a big challenge for the Chargers. On the other side, the mail I'm getting out of New York, guys, don't know if you've heard it, but Jackson Dart is starting for the Giants.
It's time for Dart.
And it's definitely Dart time. Does that mean Russ to the Falcons, Russ to the Saints? Where's Russ going to go now? Who needs
team 3?
Who needs...
Russ has already come out. He's like, this isn't the end for me. I'm like, well, it might be. Like
pretty close.
You're getting benched at the Giants. Like, the Giants will keep quarterbacks there for far too long normally. So I'm stoked that Jackson Dart.
Jimmy Garoppolo's ringing up Russ Wilson. We're going, do you want to watch the game together this week?
I'm stoked for Dart, and the Giants fans should be as well. It's going to be very exciting, and they had him in for a couple of plays in the previous game. But it was only a couple of plays. He needs to really be able to find his feet. It might take a couple of games, but the Giants have been...
What a defense to start against.
Yeah.
There you go, mate. There's the Wolves. Go on.
Yeah, but like, what other options do you have? You look at the Giants' schedule. They got the Chargers, then the following week they got the Eagles. Like, you're going up against really, really tough defenses. So just rip the Band-Aid off, put him in there, and just see how he goes.
You almost got to be like for Day. This is I don't want to say last ditch effort for Dayball, but he's in a hot seat. So I think
I actually don't think there's a hotter seat in football than Dayball in New York, and I do think this is his one shot. It's like there's an old Yiddish saying that, what are you saving the good crockery for after your funeral? Do you know what I mean? And that's the life of a head coach and a GM as well. Shane, ex-Buffalo GM. What are you going to make Dart look great for 3 games at the end of the year for the next coach to have a good start? And so it's time, but also Dayball is good with a young quarterback. Dayball he's great at scheming up to strengths. I think there's potential there. And the other mail I'm getting out of the Giants, out of New Jersey, is they love him in the building. Everyone is talking about the fact that locker room loves him, front office loves him. Everyone likes the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, the way he leads, his personality. Probably in a lot of ways, he will have the locker room in a way that Russell Wilson would not have the locker room. No, you don't hear a lot of people saying, do you know who's a great locker room guy? Russell Wilson. Do not hear that a lot. But this could be exactly what that team needs. And they've got murderers row on defense. Like they have
their front lines.
Yeah, they are terrifying on defense. And not all teams that are in trouble have the kind of resources they've got to actually dig themselves out of a hole, cobble together a 6-7 win season, and say, hey, this regime can go around one more time.
Still good. I do think Tyrone Tracy's out, dislocated shoulder last week. So that's a bit of a kick in the plums. Next game.
Kick in the plums, classic. The next game, we've got the Jags at the 49ers. So this is massive for the Jags. So the 49ers completely depleted. We mentioned before, Bosa has done his ACL, so he's gone. We got Mac Jones throwing the ball, maybe. And then you got this Jags team that I picked very early on that they are definitely going to be up and coming and have a winning record. And they're heading that way. So if the Jags can come into the 49ers and take this down, you got to be looking at them for the longevity of the season.
This game is great for your prediction that they're going to go 14-3 and reverse their record.
This sends them a long way.
This definitely helps a lot. And yeah, the Jags are, if you're picking who's going to make wild card from the AFC, Jags are absolutely there. You'd have more faith in them than the Chiefs making it, for example. So yeah, this is a big one for them, and I think it's tough sledding for the 49ers, who have had so many seasons now where a couple of key injuries have meant that the cupboard is bare in so many ways. So real challenges there for, who is it? Shanahan and Sala as the defensive coordinator, who is a great, like everyone raves, once again, out of the building in what is it, Palo Alto? Was it Santa Clara? Santa Clara. He's been amazing as a DC there. Like everyone's, like he's had the benefit of being a head coach and coming in and he's seeing things that most DCs wouldn't see.
He's playing with broken crockery though.
That's right. That's as big a hole to fill as there is in football. So, yeah, I think Jags take it, but it's definitely an interesting game and a test for them as well.
Bears at the Raiders. I've got this one in there because I really talk about the Bears. Is Caleb the man, or was that a flash in the pan, that 4 touchdowns, 300 yards? But also both teams, the winner kind of stays in their division. The loser is starting to really fall away. They'll be 1-3. The loser. It's a long way.
So the Raiders could have the same record as the Chiefs in the AFC West.
But then
that's a stink.
Yeah, you don't want to be compared to that. They're in their division, obviously. 4-0 is a big chance for the Chargers, so you're a long way back from there. So I think it's a big game to stay in their division.
Yeah, and the Raiders looked really promising in week 1. I was like, oh, the Raiders are back. This is good. Football's good when the Raiders are doing good. But then since then, they've just, Gino's really struggled. He hasn't looked as confident, and the offense definitely isn't as firing as much as they want to. And then you look at the defense, Max Crosby is always going to be dominant, but the defense as a whole is struggling to keep the Raiders in games. When you're coming up against the Bears, and Caleb Williams did have an incredible, as much as you don't like him, he had an incredible game last week, and he was looking like the quarterback that everyone thought he was when he was coming through college. Like you said, real flip of the coin for this game. It's going to be super tough. The Bears are traveling to Las Vegas, which kind of gives the Raiders the upper hand, but the Raiders, to me, just haven't looked like a complete enough team to actually beat the Bears.
One thing to keep an eye on is the offensive line for the Raiders. And I say that because Genty is a standout running back talent, but he is running into contact on a high percentage of runs. So he's not got the gaps. The line is not doing the work for Genty to have a big impact. And that was the one thing everyone said about the Raiders and why they could be a sneaky, smoky contender this year. He's not getting past the first line.
And Genty's yards after contact is at 146. And then his total yards is at 146. It's just any time he's running with the ball, he's getting hit at some point.
The last game, we know ball. Yeah. 2 versus 1. The last game, Bengals at the Broncos. Now, I put this one in there. Bengals banged up. We can almost, if they lose this one, they're done for the year. Even though they're 2-1, it's a long way back with injuries that they've got in key positions. Big for the Broncos. If they get knocked off here again, they'll be 1-3. Another team that we said are pushing up to be challenging the Chargers. So the Chargers will be definitely getting on the Broncos bandwagon here to give themselves a bit of a gap.
I would predict this as a get-right game for the Broncos. Not just because the Bengals are struggling and they've spent a lot of money at the Bengals and most of it is on the bench injured and the other... And the other big whack of money is a wide receiver that doesn't really have someone to throw it to at the moment. And they didn't spend money on the defense the way they needed to. There's such big problems that now that you don't have Joe Burrow fixing them, they are in real trouble. And the Broncos, Bo Nix last week really started to play some good ball and put it on his shoulders and had some of that form that he had last year that had everyone saying, oh, maybe he's the best rookie quarterback this year, and maybe that we've seen in a couple of years. He got them to the wild card last year. They need to clean up. They actually need to be more disciplined. And I would suspect, and I'd be very surprised if it wasn't the case, that Peyton has been focusing on you can't give away penalties the way you've been doing it. You can't have the kind of mental errors that we've had. They've allowed their opponents to get back in situations and given up so many yards to penalties. So if they can be buttoned up and just actually not make those small errors and be disciplined, that's what they need to do. But I do think I think they get there. I think they can get there easily. They're at home. And although that said, how funny would it be if the AFC West is the 4-0 Chargers, and then everyone else is 1-3. Like that which is a possibility after this week.
It's true.
Possibility.
I can't see the Broncos losing this one. No. Like they were in every single game that they've played so far. In those losses, they were like coming down to the final play or a field goal or whatever it was. The Broncos are there. So as long as, exactly what you're saying, they tidy up their own yard, the Broncos really should be walking away with this one pretty comfortably.
Should. They're the games you drop.
Should be in the key word.
Yeah, should. Yeah, that's the big danger when I remember playing. Listen to the Packers and they go, yeah, you should win this one. Fuck, we're in trouble then. It's also a game, I think, for the Bengals that, what do you got to lose? Throw it around, see what happens. They're the games that you can really...
Well, and Browning has proved that he can win as well. Like, he's not...
he didn't have a great game last week. Bounce back game for him and see what happens.
Yeah. Broncos,
yeah. I think we all think the Broncos. Charles, thank you.
Absolute pleasure. I just want to say one thing about the 3-0 Bills who are taking on the Saints. Sorry, the Falcons this weekend. Is it Saints? Saints this weekend.
Falcons next week.
And there's been some questions that say, some people be, they didn't murder the Dolphins the way they should have. There've been a couple of little questions about it. The only team in NFL history to win the first 3 games, throwing 0 interceptions, an average of over 160 yards rushing, an average of over 250 yards thrown, and a minimum of 3 touchdowns and scoring over 30 each game. So for a team that has to work their shit out, statistically, no team has actually been this good on offense.
That's why they've got to work it out. What the fuck's happening here?
And we love the stats on it. That's what we're here for.
We were that close to not mentioning the Bills in a whole episode.
I know.
I'm
just trying to work on this whole Charlie knows ball image. So some unnecessary stats there.
Get out of here, Charlie.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, week 4, mate. It's going to be a big one.
Make it. Go Bills.
First Down Friday time, mate. Brought to us by our good friends at Unibet. It was a devastating week last week for me. You got the job done. You're very Cheshire cat about it. Make sure you do hit us up on our link. DM us if you have to. Like, find a way to let us know. We'll send you out. We'll get back to you. 3 a.m. in the morning, doesn't matter. We'll get back to you. We'll send you our unique link, and you can be a part of our Unibet family. Because you are 1-0 now, mate.
I am 1-0, which is huge. We've finally done it. The First Down Friday is meant to be that easy bet that we just cash in week 1. So you go into the rest of the weekend with a little bit of money in the bank. And it's finally happened. We did it on the Bills Dolphins, and only just because I had the line in there. And the line, I was like, I did an alternative line. And luckily that I did. Brought it down because it was bang on, like 6.5 in the end. So, but it was huge. So now I've got the big one. You got the big old goose egg, my friend.
I was very close on my Hail Mary, though. I had 4 touchdowns. Had D-Hop in there, who scored both weeks. Didn't have Mark Andrews in there, but we had him in there a couple of weeks ago because he glorified left tackle, and he has 2, and D-Hops gets 1 target. So
yeah, you were stiff. You were stiff on the Hail Mary. And the worst part was, like, I saw you put up the Hail Mary, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, God, I'm going to back that too.
I think I had 3
I wanted you to lose so then I can be winning, but I also wanted you to win because I was backing it.
Yeah. One problem is it's not a problem, it's great, but it doesn't go towards our little competition, is all our SEM bets seem to be going really well. So make sure you listen to us on SEN and get the tips there.
And if you want our SEN tips as well, hit us up, get the link. Yeah, it's all in the link.
It's all there. All right, it's my First Down Friday this week. We've got the... Who do we have? Who is playing? We mentioned it. Charles, you're sitting in the corner. Who is playing Friday?
It's the Seahawks Cardinals.
That's
Seahawks
it.
Cardinals.
Yeah, I'll just big mind off there. But you've looked at this. I've sent it to you. This is my First Down Friday. You said too many legs. I'm confident because all the legs are intertwined. So we've got Cooper Kupp for 20 receiving yards. Got it every week. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 50 plus. He's averaging over 60. Marvin Harrison Jr., 30 plus. He's my only little worry because he can't catch the ball at the moment, but he's got that every week. So I'm happy with that one as well. Trey McBride, 5 receptions. This was as low as you could get him. He's getting 6 plus every week, so that's I'm not worried about. And then Sam Darnold, he threw for 300 or something last week, I'm pretty sure. He's figured his shit out. Plus 175, paying 245. This is home. What's going to lose here, mate?
It's a lot of legs. For me, it's a lot of legs for a First Down Friday, but it's your bet, hey? If you want me to keep on winning this competition, I'm all good for it.
It's winning. It's going to be 1-0 after this. That'll lead perfectly into your Hail Mary Monday, mate.
Yeah, looking forward to the Hail Mary Monday. It's going to be big. It's going to be juicy, but it's also going to hit. So even if you do win this, we'll end up being 2-1.
2-1.
By the end of the week.
Big week 4, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be absolutely massive. Every week's just getting bigger and bigger and better and better. Man, I love this sport.
We think we can't beat last week. We somehow do.
Every single time.
All right.
Go Birds.